Welcome to Innotech. I'm Giovani Imprenditori, the president of the Young Entrepreneur Association of Bologna. Welcome to Innotech. Innotech is an event all day long in which we will analyze partnerships and relationships between universities and companies. Innotech is designed and shared in 3 different sub-events. The first one is ARcTIC, focus on ICT. The inventor of ARcTIC is Nicola Mazzetti. Thank you. The second one we call a tech pool meeting, in which the R&D director of the main companies in town will explain to the university world their needs based on materials and ICT. The third one is the main one, called Innotech, in which we will analyze the technology transfer processes and the issues. I wanna introduce to you my friend Giovani Imprenditori. Giovanni is an entrepreneur in telecom and bank services, and he is a member of the main board of our national association in Rome. Thank you.
Good morning everybody. It is a great pleasure for me to be here to welcome the first workshop, and I want to thank you, my good friend Gian Guido, for the opportunity. Innovation, it is the key to grant a future to our company. It is well known, but innovation is also one of the main reasons, if not the top reason, why company here in the packaging valley is winning competition to much stronger economy than ours. It is not probably known enough, or we're not telling enough, that there are manufacturer company, busy in packaging and automation that are doing well nowadays. They are doing well despite the Italian systems and despite the global competition. This is, to me, it's probably due to their capability to innovate, to challenge everyday status quo, to their capability to bring new product and system to their customer, bringing new value every day. Technology is one of the most important ways to bring innovation inside companies. As Confindustria, we need to work hard to improve this attitude to any of the company of our district, this attitude to innovation, to challenge the status quo. This is why I believe today's workshop is very important. It is a great thing, but also it is a great thing that is being organized by the young entrepreneurs, I Giovani Imprenditori of Confindustria. It is my opinion, when we talk about building bridge between university and companies, we don't refer only to those companies that are looking for easy way to achieve patents, or we don't refer only to those professors that are looking for funds to complete their study despite the real application. But we need really to build complementary between these two words. We need to widespread the concept of entrepreneurship between teachers, but most important, between students. In this way, I believe we don't only boost the development of innovation, but we really help the born of new companies, the born of startup or spin-off. For sure, all will be innovating. At the end, Mr. Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Mr. Bean and Mr. Page were all students when they start up their companies. Last but not last, let me applause again the Giovani Imprenditori of Confindustria to be able to arrange such good events with such great high-level speakers. But most on top of this, to strongly have wanted to take it in English, which is not such common as it should be in our association. Very well done, Gian Guido. Very well done to your whole team.
Thank you all for being here with us and for sharing with us the need of improving the way we work together. 1 year ago, myself with Manuel Mazzara, Nicola Dragoni, Paolo Bellavista, and Marco Manca that are not here, is not here today with us, had the idea of doing our part in this big project, and we designed the first vision of this event that we shared and with the Giovani Imprenditori group of Unindustria Bologna, and we have been welcome to start and to make this project all together. This is a sign of the shared need to improve the way in which we work, and we work for innovation, because innovation is a process that wants to build, to create knowledge and to change the way people do things. Now, in our setting, we have a university that creates knowledge, but not also university, also the industry. University, through basic research, builds the new knowledge. Industry, through their work, build knowledge about the real setting, the real problems, what people want, what people desire. And unfortunately, in the innovation process, in order to enable the changes on people's lives, there is the need to have more efficient and effective bridges between the knowledge represented by university and the knowledge represented by industry. So this is why we are here today, and I will leave you with a question that I hope will be with us for all the day: how we can work better together, how we can create better together. Thank you. Okay, the first speaker of today is Alexander Romanowski. I'm a bit emotional. Andrea Zucchelli, that is telling us about making innovation differently. Thank you, Andrea, for being here.
Thank you to you. Thank you, Nicola. Probably I do not need any microphone now, so you can hear me quite well, I suppose. Thank you, everybody, and welcome. Thank you, Nicola, again. No, please. I prefer without any support, such a support. So, innovation. Innovation is an amazing word, but we have to make it concrete. Yeah. We need for translation. Okay. That's wow. Okay. Making innovation differently. Innovation, it's an amazing word, and we need probably to think about it very clearly, because when sorry. few seconds, also the second one will appear. Okay. So, making innovation. So, well, I am Andrea Zucchelli, coming from University of Bologna, and probably I don't need to introduce myself more, but to go just to the outline of my presentation. The presentation will start with a question, with some questions and topics regarding challenges that we have to face in order to see the future. These are just some examples of problems that we should face and to which we have to try to make an answer. But there are some topics that we can keep in mind, and then we should try to face in a different way. So in this way, I say innovation. Problems, society, innovation to face the problems, and then we have to realize in a concrete way the innovation. So the idea of the speech is this. Problems. The population grow. Probably I am showing you something that is well known, but I just want to remind you. We have to keep in mind the fact that step by step, year by year, the population will grow, and this is a problem because the sustainability of our system, the Earth, the capability of Earth to give us answer in terms of food, quality of life, and etc., will be reduced as far as we are increasing. So we have to take into account this fact and to try to find a solution that is not to kill people, obviously, but to give an innovative answer to this problem that is a problem. Second, water. Water will be the problem of the future. It is the problem today, and in the future will be a very big and huge problem. Because today, the cost of water and the turnover on water, potable water, water that is used for our day life, it's a problem. And the turnover, it's absolutely comparable, and sometimes it's over the turnover of oil. So water is the real problem for our sustainability and sustainability of the life. Energy. Energy is the second problem probably that we have to face, second technical problem that we must face. We produce energy, many times we lose energy, we have to find a way to store energy. So the energy storage is the second real problem. Especially here in Italy, that we have a lot of capability to produce energy. You know probably that Italy is the most advanced country for the production of energy from photovoltaic. In few years, we grow our energy production capability from 1 gigabyte up to 10 gigabytes. Sorry, not gigabytes, gigawatt. So from 1 gigawatt to 10 gigawatt. And the very tremendous growth, very impressive growth, was not supported by the net. So the net to distribute energy, and in the same time the energy storing capability must have to be improved step by step. And again, technology. Technology is a possible answer. When we are driving a car, we lose a lot of energy when we stop the car by brakes. And then we should try to recover this energy, but as the high-tech level of the response that we get from the technology today, the solution that comes from Formula One, for example, have a problem. They are the CARES solution. It's a solution to get energy from the stopping of the car, but in the same time, the quantity of energy that is released, it's like a lamp, and we cannot manage it. We destroy all batteries that are available today. So, technological issue. Silver generation. Silver generation means that we have to take care to all peoples that are, because the quality of life is presumably increased and the age is increasing, we have to face this problem because we are going to have a lot of people that increase in age, but in the same time their quality of life must be sustained. We have to keeping this in mind. And also the related cost, because today the cost to support people that are increasing in age,
must be supported by the society. But this cost became day per day unsustainable because of incapability, because the number of people that reach a certain level of age, a certain amount of years, are increasing. So we have to take into account which ways we can try to find to support the quality of life of aged people. Another problem concerns the concentration of people in cities. So urbanism is a great problem for the quality of life. Probably someone has went in Shanghai and have the idea what means today the quality of air in cities. It's the pollution, it's unbelievable, and the quality of life again is bad. The future sustain of health of people that lives in such a cities is decreasing. It's another problem. University trend. Is this a problem or this is the solution? This is just a way of thinking that can be viewed in this process of growth. You see, from the early beginning, we have a few universities. The topics were concerning the cultural speeches that were available at this age, and step by step, years by years, the complexity of the world influenced the university and the answer that society is waiting from university. So if at the beginning of 2000 we were expecting from research from universities, education and scientific research, today we are expecting education, research and an economic role that is a challenge for the university. We cannot stop. We have to think as a university party in the society, we have to think how we can sustain young people, students, and in the same time also industries to play a different role in the economic part. This is just statistics to focus where we are and where we can try to think, where we should think to go on. And you see that North America as a percentage of the global researchers that are employed in the research centers and universities, etc., it's 20% about. Europe, it's close to 30%, and Asia and Far East, let me say, Far East, it's 41%. If we go and look to the investment in research, we get a better idea what this mean. US is investing 400 billion. Remember, keep in mind, US, United States, have an employment in research that represent 20%. They are investing $400 billion. Europe is investing about close to 300 billion, 200 billion and a half, and we have 30% of researchers. But look to the China, India, Far East, I mean, they are investing 400 and they have a representative of 40% of researchers. Researchers means the capability to develop new solutions and at the same time to transfer them to the society through industries. So economical support that sustain the society. What we should expect from these few numbers and the idea for the future. We should expect that the quality of living and the productivity gain are related at least to resources and services like energy, water, healthcare. And by increasing the resources, it seems that the quality of life is increasing. But in the same time, are we sure that we are increasing at least our quality of life step by step by eating our resources? Because we are destroying our resources. So the idea is to try to develop technologies able to answer to the question of quality of life without destroying, without eating our natural resources, and improve the sustainability. Then you can say, Andrea, sorry, but you are a little bit trivial, because you are telling us something that sounds like political, and today politics in Italy sounds bad. Yeah, probably yes. It's populative. It's a very popular way of speaking this. We have to improve the quality of our life, and in the same time we have to reduce the wastes, and we have to reduce the consumption of the natural resources. Okay, we want to transform tin in gold, at least. But probably the technology and a proper way of combination between researchers and the needs of society should be the good answer. What I expect is a mature political system that is able to connect the questions from society and citizen and university and researchers. What I want to introduce you after these very popular or simple things is an example that we have developed in conjunction with SMEs that try to match this challenge. Try to match the idea that we want to try to solve problems in society through the research system. New technologies imported in society. Nanofibers. I will speak about nanofibers. Now I will be more technical. So we go just a little bit in details about nanofibers. Nanofibers is a matter of scale. What is nano? Nano, it's, for example, 300 nanometers. You see, and human hair, it's a little bit bigger. And at least nano, it's interesting for us for some reason. Nano, you see in this scheme, just the effect of scale. If you, for example, take 1,000 kilometers and you say that this is the macro scale that we want to use, nano means to have 1 millimeter. You understand? So if I will be a movie, like BBC movie, and I am the speaker, trying to describe which is the nano size, I have to say that 1,000 kilometers, it's our micro scale. 1 millimeter, it's our nano scale. So we can easily understand the effectiveness of what nano is. Because if we have a fiber that is micro, 1,000 kilometers, and we split the nano fiber in several small nanofibers, we have a filament of diameter of about 1 millimeter, 20 millimeter. You understand how much matter, how much polymer material we should use better if we divide the micro scale to a nanoscale. We can increase, as it is seen in this picture, we can increase the ratio between surface and volume. By increasing the surface respect the volume, we can try to use the matter in a better way. This is the concept. Nanofibers have been used and are going to be used in several areas. So life science, tissue engineering. Life science, I mean drug delivery carrier. What I mean the drug delivery carrier? We can use drug in healthcare, but also in agriculture. Why agriculture? Because nutrients should be dissolved very easily in the landscape by nanofibers that contain the drug, contain the nutrients. Tissue engineering, it's like a dream, because it means that if we have a trouble with some of our organs, internal organs, we can try to reconstruct our organs in order to obtain a new organ. Are we speaking about bionics? Maybe in the future. But just today, we have some examples of application of tissue engineering in order to solve healthcare problems. Filtration, it's obvious. I mean, nanofibers were employed for the first time in filtration system. In 1968, at about 1968, they were used for mask, for filtration to protect soldiers. And they are very well known because they reduce the drop pressure, the pressure drop when we breathe. So the industrial application of this is to reduce the energy used for fans that can be applied in order to filter the air or filter something or to interact with something. Industrial application like in electromagnetic system, LCD devices. Some LCD you don't know, but they are based on nanofibers. Some LCDs that we found in a supermarket. Nanosensor in order to achieve a very quick answer respect the presence of poison in air or in water, and cosmetics, etc. In 2006, we found a research group that is an interdisciplinary research group that match at least 3 main contributions. One from chemistry, because we are speaking about polymer nanofibers. One from mechanical and the other from electrical engineering, in order to try to match what? To close the gap between base science and applied science. We started collaborating together, and what we produced are technologies and principles on which the technology is based that enhance the production of fibers, solid fibers, porous fibers, hollow and core shell fibers. So it means that we can deliver with such a fibers, for example, carbon nanotubes or drugs in general. We can have vessels in fibers that are connected, like pearl fibers. We can organize random. We can make fibers aligned, cross-aligned, patterned, or tangential. Several technologies in order to match pattern different. And the differences in pattern make such a material able to solve real scale problem, real life problem. Just to give you an idea. And the potentialities. The random nanofibers are known as a biomimetic material. What it means, biomimetic material? Try to make a film. We take a cell from our body and we put in a cell culture system, in a bioreactor. When we take the cell and we put the cell in the bioreactor, with food, with good temperature, the cells start growing, making a tissue. Such a growth is sustained by the natural capability of cells to produce nanofibers. So before they start making clonation of cells, they produce extracellular matrix that is made of nanofibers. If we offer a nanostructured materials like this one, the random one, the cells are able to grow instantaneously. They don't have to spend energy and time to produce such a nanofibrous matrix. So they start growing. In case there is a problem related to ictus or heart attack, the aligned nanofibers are used in order to induce stem cell differentiation to obtain muscle for our heart. They are used to obtain veins. They are used, the star-shaped, they are used to reconstruct part of the brain that have been killed by the ictus, so the absence of blood. All these applications are obviously under studies, and they are not at the real life, day life availability. But the research is going on, and probably in few years, 10 years maybe, we are keeping a new solution for healthcare problems. Then we can also make such a funny construction that are 3D construction. We can organize fiber in yarn, bundles, etc. So our group started making experiments and researches in several applications. concrete application, I mean. Air filtration, biomedical application, water treatment, electrical batteries, and composite materials. Obviously, I'm not the expert of all of this, so I'm speaking on the behalf of the others, of our group. Sorry? I'm speaking, so I'm not the expert of all of this area. I have my specific topic because I cannot be, I cannot be expert of everything. I know something about the technology and I have my specialized sector that are composite materials, but I participate to the growth of this technology, nanofiber application in all the other sectors, and it's impressive, the result that can be obtained. Filtration media, just an example, to give you an idea, a touchable idea of which is the size of nanofibers and natural and classical fibers that are used for filtration media. So you see that we can reduce the size of particulate that can be kept from the media. So we reduce the dust that is inlet, that is breathed by us. We can protect ourselves from pollutants. We can make electrical batteries. So there is a research group working in collaboration with a multinational, with a big company, and they are developing membranes for batteries of the next generation. The batteries are characterized by very low weight and high energy storing capability. And in the same time, they are able to store energy and release the stored energy very, very quickly. So we will have a car tomorrow, maybe, we will have a car, then when we go to refill the energy, so the problem is to take energy from the net and put it in the storing system, so the battery, will take few minutes, not hours. And also the release will be very well controlled. This is a topic, energy storage, which the energy storage system has to be low weight and at the same time have to respond to demand of people that wants to store energy very quickly and have it available when it is required. Some images are crude now, so people that is not affected to, is not on the way to see such a picture. Keep in mind that the next one will be very crude, but you can see the potentialities. This is a diabetic ulcer, and you see that in 2 months of treatment, this person, this is an old man, it's about 78, he started with problems in 78, and after 2 years of solution that were not able to give a complete solution, he was troubling. He had 2 years of troubles. So at 80, he started the treatment with such a membrane that is made of nanofibers and a specialized drug. He was able to solve his problem. Okay, you understand why it is crude? This man has the same problem. He was also more aged. He was near 90, okay? You see, the problem was that there were very impressive damages on the skin. The only solution that doctors said, facing this problem, the doctor said, we have to cut. Your foot is absolutely impossible to be repaired, or we can rescue it. But after the treatment of such a very high level technologies, this man was in the condition that saved his foot, and the quality of his life was improved. We can apply the nanofibers in composite materials to face problems that needs high strength, high performances of composite materials in order to reduce the fatigue problem of the lamination problem. But all these ideas and many others must be realized in a concrete way. So all these ideas that we have in the university, how can be driven out can be realized in a concrete way. This is a problem, in fact. How university can match real everyday life, the society? A first step was based on a promotion made by our local government, Regione Emilia-Romagna. So we connected our basic research to the applied research by creating the Centers for Applied and Industrial Research. So now I turned out from technology and I'm speaking about strategy. Strategy to take technology from university, from the research center to the applied research. This is a way, so the local government supported this idea to take out from university the idea and try to make the idea available for industrial application. And this is the first step. The first step is done. The first step is done because we have basic research in university. In the applied research centers, we have the applied research, but there is a boundary that must be overcome. We have to go over this limit. This is another instrument that our local government and the institution gave us, that is ARcTIC, Science, Technology and Science, Technology and the community of industries. Through ARcTIC, we contacted and we have involved 3 SMEs from CNA, that is another local organization, confederation of small and medium enterprises. And by involving 3 SMEs, they agreed to create a cluster. Cluster means an aggregation of SMEs that aim to develop real science application and also to build up a new company in coordination with the university. Okay? This is a real science application. The problem that was supported by the problem that was faced and was solved through the support of the SMEs was the manufacturing of an automatic or semi-automatic machine able to realize, to manufacture the nano material. So we have to realize that our first machine, semi-automatic machine, that was built up through the students' contribution and the contribution of SMEs. All of them contributed in mechanical application, mechatronic application, electronic control, etc. This machine, just to show you better in a few steps, is a multi-jet machine that is able to produce at least 400 piece of material, nanostructured materials that are able to take care about the ulcer, 400 per day. It's a not very high level of quantity. It's not a high-speed machine, obviously, but we have to take care about the nano size of the fibers, because nano, in this case, make real the possibility to regenerate the ulcer. But it's a first step, obviously. This is an example of our production capability. So the mat, it's handable, so very easily to be used from doctors and can be easily applied. So the scheme of this collaboration started from the university, an idea from university, a technology development that starts from the university, take place then in an applied research center that is the instrument from our local government to collaborate very easily with companies. Second, SMEs start collaborating with us, creating what? A new company. The new company will be able to manufacture machines, automatic machines, will be able to support the manufacturing of nanostructured materials, and in the same time, it's a new way Pronto? And you see in the scheme, it's a new way to try to find a fundraising that is oriented to the specific technology. Strategies means that now the university have a company that should support the university itself to present a complete cluster, research plus industrial application or concrete application together, representing a reference point for other parties, other partners in the UE, in the European Union, or in Italy itself. So this is a new possible way that we have developed, and we think that should be successful. Thank you for your own.
Thank you, Andrea. The second speaker of this morning is Professor Alexander Romanowski, telling us about his experience in creating and running the European Framework 7 deploy project.
Thank you very much. It will be slightly different view on innovation. We probably never use this term in the project. I was the coordinator of this European project, and John Warwick was the manager. So, and I'm obviously grateful to all big team, and Manuel from this team is in the room, so it's great. So I'm working in computer science school, and I've been coordinating several European projects, but this one is really unusual, deploy, it's called deploy, on deployment of formal methods. And John has very long experience on managing various European projects. From Brussels' point of view, this was quite unusual experience as well, because universities not very often coordinate big integrated projects. It's typically done by industry, but sort of they trusted us, and I hope that they were not disappointed. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about challenges of deploying in industry formal methods. This is a topic, so you don't have to understand completely what it is about. It's just an example. Probably for this workshop, it's just one of the examples of science and knowledge coming from the university. And I will tell you about our experience in coordination of this project. So formal methods in industry, it's quite a big topic, and big communities of people working in formal methods in the university really enjoying great success. There have been many big sort of interesting developments, theoretical, and there have been quite interesting success stories in applying formal methods in industry. So in deploy we worked with event B formalism. Again, it doesn't matter, one of several formalisms. Probably you know there are CSP, you name them, Z. So this was about event B formalism. And the B method, which is very close to our project, was first applied by Matra, now Siemens Transportation in Paris, in developing control software for Paris Metro. So there are several surveys which show how formal methods have been successfully used in industry. And I'm sure you're aware of this. CSP is used in many telecom communications. So people do use formal methods in industry. But the barrier, the gap is huge. And we saw this in the project. It's not easy to convince industrial engineers to use formal methods for many reasons. There is this understanding that formal methods can help engineers in dealing with complexity of the system. And we know that complexity of computer systems is growing, and this is the main problem. Engineers are not really able, won't be able to capture the complexity of future systems. If you look into the car, it will have probably 400 chips and I don't know how many software in 5 years. So the complexity, we saw this in discussion with Bosch engineers. They know that this is coming. The complexity will be really so high that they won't probably be able to certify or even to bring evidence that they completely understand the system. And this is worrying. And this is happening in all the domains because IT is great and software is great. It's flexible, easy to develop, new functionality. But whether engineers can control this complexity, it's quite a big issue. And they want to improve productivity. And formal methods promise to reduce the cost of testing. Again, so there is this more or less agreed understanding that formal methods can help in understanding, in improving requirements, in understanding the complex software, in developing in a rigorous way complex IT systems, in reducing the testing and improving the quality. So this all are sort of buzz mainly coming from university. You won't be disappointed, just use formal methods. But engineers, and rightly so, they're not so easy to get into this sort of stuff. And this project was about convincing them. So we worked with several, but at the same time, if you look into different application domain. Now many standards require in different form the use of formal methods. In railway, it's nearly obligatory. The engineers have to demonstrate the safety of the system, and very often they push to using formal methods. So it's coming, there is this push from the certification as well, and it's not only from the university. And so we try to deal with this in this project as well. But we realized, we knew this from the beginning, and by the end of the project it was clear that this gap and this between industry and university is huge, and it's a big challenge to deploy formal methods. And it's not that you need to explain engineers that your formal methods is fantastic. It doesn't really matter. They don't buy this. They don't read scientific papers. You cannot email them many papers and say, oh, you see, I just got this paper on formal methods Europe. They don't care. And it's social issue as well. So you need to convince managers. You need to convince the whole company. You need to convince quality control engineers. So it's quite a big issue to deploy formal methods in industry, and for that matter, any knowledge coming from the university. It's not only talking to the engineers which would be using them. Their managers should believe. They're making decisions. And it's quite a different issue. Probably you will convince engineers. You spend 3 or 4 years with them, and they probably trust you. And afterwards, they go to their managers, and managers say, we need to produce our car. We don't have five months to educate our team in formal methods. And this is it. Your formal methods is dead for this company for quite a long time, actually. So we worked on this event B formalism in this project. It's very nice formalism, and we had the father of this method, Jean-Raymond Abrial, in our team. He worked in ETH Zurich at this time, so it was great, and we had a lot of good people from the universities in this project. So we have a tool. So formal methods now, they coming with the tools because engineers will never use formal methods with pen and paper. And so we developed fantastic environment, but I'm the coordinator, would say anyways. It's fantastic environment. So in Eclipse, extendable, publicly available, everybody can use it. There are right now probably 20 people improving this environment. The project ended in May, but it's huge and it's open and it's nice. I mean, it's developed using all last sort of achievement in tooling and formal methods. But during the, I mean, we had a lot of good stories to tell, and unfortunately we have had a lot of, okay, not disasters, but not very nice stories, and I can tell you more about this as well. It was bumpy road, and probably we only 2 companies out of our 4 are using now formal methods in the production, and this is the result. We tried a lot. It's quite expensive project for the commission, 18 million euro, 4 years. 100 people were working on this project, so it's huge, really big project. And so my story is about how we tried to bridge this, to transfer this technology as a part of big European project. It was not technology transfer project because we were developing technology on the way. And this was a little bit of disappointment for engineers because they get used to this sort of cycle. You buy software and afterwards you complain if you have problems to Microsoft. And probably they fix bugs. For the research projects, it's not happening this way because universities are developing this tool on the way. So engineers becoming part of the development. And they don't like actually this idea because we are experimenting on them. And they are sort of guinea pigs. They cannot tell you, it's not really working properly. You tell them, yeah, but it's experimental tool. We are developing this tool. So they needed to help us. And they were great. It was a very nice team. 100 people working together. Engineers realized that they need to work with academia to explain what they want. And I was in between. Engineers tell me, oh, it's not very good tool. They're not helping us. Academic people told me, I need to write papers. I don't really care about deployment. The more papers, the better. Who cares about engineers? And these two types of guys in the same room, okay, I'm exaggerating. We worked together and we wrote 300 papers and we developed very good tools. So I thought it was a good project. But actually, engineers and academics want different things. It's obvious. They're not interested. Academics are not really motivated to do proper technology transfer. We are now writing this report about school success. And it's number of papers and number of projects. It's not really about technology transfer. So even parameters are not right. But I think this project was quite successful. So we had SAP, Siemens, Space System Finland working for European Space Agency. We had Bosch, quite big successful industrial companies. And they were really in the middle of the project. So many engineers, about 15, 20 altogether from these companies were part of the project. And they helped us a lot. And we had two development companies. So these companies are really developing tools for industry. And it was great help. So between universities and industrial end users, we had these companies who were experienced in developing tools supporting formal methods. So, and there have been success stories and not success stories as well. So actually, we wrote a book with Martin Thomas and about sort of the bumpy road deployment. And so now when I'm reading these chapters coming from Bosch, I think they're really negative. But it's true. This is what engineers thought. So if you ever are going to look into this book, don't forget, I didn't moderate anything. Whatever Bosch people said, this is how they perceive this project. And there are many negative things about how academics didn't help them, how tool developers didn't come at their help at right point, how coordinator was not helping, whatever. It's their writing. So, but success stories are there. So Siemens using part of this tool now in the development of metro lines for Barcelona and Prague and Sao Paulo, and it's part of this project. So SAP using model-based testing as part of their software development in Germany. Again, it's great success. Not all tools developed are used by industry. So industry, what they tell now very often, we understand now what we need actually from formal methods. And probably we won't be using your formal method. But next year, when we are thinking about what to use, we will choose probably different formal methods. It's still a success for us. So, and we saw several problems with formal methods. Formal methods, sort of you develop model of a system, and afterward you verify it, and it's fantastic. And actually, this is model of the system. So it's not real system. What is the relation between this model, which is proven correct and safe, and real system? And this gap, non-formal or formal methods can capture, can grasp. Formal methods are working in this sort of artificial space of formal models, and they can prove nicely all nice properties of these models, not the real system. And very often the systems break in between. Actually, your model probably don't completely reflect the real system, or your requirements are not really formal. Requirements are written by all sorts of people. We call them stakeholders. So business people, they write requirements for the systems. They don't write these requirements in formal method. And afterward, we develop formal models using these requirements. And how you can guarantee that your model is correct when you start from non-formal requirements, which are ambiguous, probably not even correct. And the same, there are several situations with this nice artificial environment of when formal methods are used can break. So, but we saw this and we tried to address this. So that, for example, Bosch developed nice, and Manuel was part of this, Bosch developed nice guideline how to map requirements into nice formal models and how to clean your requirements when you model the system. So it was a useful experience, and there are all sorts of papers, and Bosch now understands what they want, and they're not going to use this specific formal method, unfortunately. But I think they're on the way of using another formal method, and this is great. We sort of know where to go. We found a lot of problems in this environment, in this project. Certification is another story which was part of this sort of this project. This tool which is used now in Siemens, it was certified, and very often methods and tools developed in European projects, their certification is not part of the project, it's outside. But we had this luxury, we had big IP, and the Commission was really helping us a lot. And they allowed us to use part of the project money on certification of the tool. And for Siemens transportation, it was really crucial. Without certification of the tool, they couldn't use this for developing metro line for Barcelona. They just couldn't. So it was part of this money from this project was spent on this certification of this specific tool. And it was big IP, so we left this legacy, we call it legacy. Everything which is left when the project ended in May. So we had many companies using and trying this tool. We created this spin-off Raden tools on the corner, Red Square. So this was a spin-off which should support the development of the tool in the future. We were worrying that when the project, this happens very often with European projects. The project ends, and what's happening with the tool? It dies. Or probably one PhD student somewhere trying to support it, and companies would never believe this tool. If there is no community, if nobody supports this, if there is no development and active sort of buzz around this tool, it's dead. So we really spent 1 year, last year of the project on creating this community. And we had several success stories. QNX, if you know this company which uses or develops operating system. So they tried this tool and they developed healthcare system using this tool. So it's happening in Japan. 7 companies tried to come together and they tried this tool, IT companies, so it was dependable forum. So they tried this tool. So we saw this happening. The project ended, but there is still big community. Several industrial projects, several technology transfer projects, a lot of developers, students develop their tools as part of this bigger environment. If any company wants to use this tool, clearly there is somebody who will answer immediately questions about how can I use this or can you improve this. But if it's big development, probably this company would need to talk to the tool developers. It's not us actually. We are not developing tool in this Raden Tools Limited. We are sort of intermediate company. If there is request for big development, we are asking people from the project, Sistarel or some other companies. So another spin-off from this Raden Tools, it was really to oversee the results of the project. There was one successful spin-off from this company in Düsseldorf. It's called Formal Mind. Small company, SME, typical spin-off. They're extremely successful. They are now in 4 projects. They work with Alstom and Siemens and Deutsche Bahn and just you name them. So their tools is really flying and are flying and they were developed in the project. So in this sense, this project was a luxury for us because the Commission was helping us a lot, and they wanted success stories in industrial deployment. So it was sort of probably, we probably played this trick. We say that this project is going to develop S&T, science and technology results, but this project is driven by industrial needs. And this was the trick. And this is why we were really focusing on technology transfer, but developing scientific results at the same time. And I don't know if this can be repeated in the future, but this was probably specific for this project. What I know for sure is that Brussels really wants to support technology transfer. So any project, if there is room for companies spinning off or certification or development good documentation for your tool, Brussels, I'm sure they would support this. Okay, I'm not at Brussels, but my feeling is that this is what they were after. They really want real results. And so we wrote this paper with John, and there are lessons how to form the consortium and how to write the proposals. I'm not going into this. We learned a lot. It was big. We probably wrote this proposal for 1.5 years. So it was not easy money. And afterward, half year of negotiation, quite painful. There are some results, sort of lessons how to do this. And we have this experience now in Newcastle. This is the last slide. So I couldn't resist. So Tony Ho really likes this project, and he said that it's quite big success for formal methods. And Michael Jackson, the requirement guy, not the thing. So Michael Jackson was part of the project, and he was working in the Bosch team, sort of, with Manuel. And he was in the project, so I should say. But he thought it was, again, very interesting, very useful project, and he is talking about this gap. But we didn't bridge it, so there is plenty of room for everybody to try to bridge this gap. So it just probably we understand now better the problems, but there are many solutions to be found. Okay, this is it. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Can you tell us for which applications Rodent tool was found to be effective, helpful, and how, what convinced the management of the companies to adopt the tool?
So it is used now in part of this Rodent tool, not everything. It is used now in SAP as a part of modeling, test-based modeling. And this is a success sort of story. So what convinced them, it's each time you deal with a company in this project, I didn't realize this from the beginning, you have to understand how this company works, how they really transfer the technology. So for SAP, I hope I'm not revealing any secret, they have SAP research, so you work with the SAP research guys in your project, European project, and afterwards they have internal transfer project without any public money, to see whether this stuff can be really used by real software developers in Germany. So we were working engineers in SAP research, and they thought, oh yeah, we probably can have technology transfer internal. And afterward, they did this transfer technology to the company, real people. We didn't see real people. They don't take part in public projects. They're developing SAP software. So why it was successful? And slightly different story for Siemens, because in Siemens situation we worked with real engineers and they wanted to use our tool. So what they wanted to see formal methods more or less hidden. The less they see formulas, the better. They want very good tool support. They want really to see that how this tool support is integrated in the existing development environment. Because nobody can pretend that, oh, Bosch guys, forget whatever you've been doing, this is a nice tool, use it. Okay, it's not the right way. So you really need to develop special tools and afterwards understand how they can be integrated in the Bosch development process or SAP development process. So for SAP, these people from SAP research, they developed using our core, they developed some connectors and stuff which became part of the SAP development. For Siemens again, they needed to develop some interface for which Siemens engineers, they understand this interface. It speaks in their language, it's not academic invention. Behind it was our engine, this model-based testing engine. But so the problems are coming, for example, from this typically. how you can integrate your NAS tool into existing, so Bosch environment, SAP, whatever environment. They've been using this environment for 20 years. It's their knowledge, it's their experience, they're successful company using this development environment. So you're developing a European project, nice thing, probably very nice. How to stick it and how they change quality assurance process, how they need to train engineers, how it fits the bigger picture of the development. And they have probably, I don't know, in SAP, 12,000 engineers. I don't know, guessing. So quite a big team. So how they need to train these people? Probably not all of them using this specific type of model. But these are the questions. They're not scientific questions, really. How to train? How expensive it is to train 10 SAP engineers in formal methods? And this is the managers of SAP. This is the first question. Can they take these people for 1 month from their development and train them? And what are the benefits? So it's cost and all these real business issues, not really, academics don't think about this. But for the formal methods, tools, very good tool support, very sort of natural, good integration into existing environment. They don't really, this is a real problem, how integrate your tool into their tool, to link to UML or whatever they use, CSML, whatever they're using. Because they have development process, big book, and it should be part of this bigger book, your chapter about this model-based testing. So engineers should really, from research SAP, they really like these ideas, and they really spend time on transferring technology. So it's case-by-case situation for each company, and a lot of effort, and not really scientific questions. But for formal methods, it's tools and how easy it is to use them for engineers, intuitive, and they really like when formal methods are completely hidden. This is ideal. This is why probably model checkers are the most successful way. We try to do it differently because B is about refinement and really modeling, state-based modeling, so you prove the correctness of the system. You don't model check. It's other way of doing stuff. And this was quite challenging. I mean, the first shot probably, model checking would be probably easy to deploy than this abstraction and go down by refinement. This is what Jean-Ramon Abrial really teaches us to do. We try to hide it. For example, in SAP, we did this development when you develop BPMN model, business model, but by some sort of decomposition and detailization and refinement. And behind there was even B, hidden modeling. But we didn't completely succeed with this, with selling this story. So I mean, everybody understands it's good to have this decomposition and detailization. It's very natural to when you develop complex systems. But for engineers, you really have to hide this formal proof somehow, and they don't want to look into theorems and lemmas. This is really not a very nice way. So try to hide and have good tool support. Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, question. Is there a threshold of complexity to say if my problem is below this threshold, is not work of using such formal methods, or if I'm above, I can afford it and it can be helpful?
I remember at the beginning we had we asked our industrial partners to present slides why they are in the project, because it's quite expensive. SAP spent €1 million and Commission gave them 1 million. So SAP just spent 1 million, and Bosch the same, and this company is probably a little bit less. So we asked them, tell us why you are in the project, what you want from this project. And I remember one slide from one company when they said, but it was, I don't remember the number. They said the complexity of the systems we are going to develop in 5 years will be somehow measured in degree 4. And this is where we believe we won't be able to use current technology. But I'm not answering your question. Sorry, I don't know even what metrics to use for complexities. So, but there was this, in this company, there was this understanding that the complexity is becoming a huge problem, and we won't be able just to see the whole picture. This is why we need some top-down decomposition, some formal proofs of correctness, some help in dealing with. But I don't know even how to measure the complexity, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm curious. Did you have any problem to convince a company that your model was good enough? Or is just a matter of, as you said, to have a very good tool with a very good user interface so that they don't care about the hidden part of the system? So whatever model you are using, they simply don't care. Whatever formal methods that you are using, they don't care. It's just a matter of, oh, that user interface is very nice. So that is what we can use for our system. Because sometimes I think the main problem, the key challenge is to convince the company that your model is good enough, whatever definition of good enough you have. Okay, so it's because maybe you can show some simulation, you can show the formal tool, you can show that it works, but okay, is that good enough for my case, for my case study, for my company? Is that what we really need? Is that compliant to what we really have? So how can I trust your model, if you want to rephrase the question? Okay, or it's just a matter they see. So do you have any magic tricks to convince a company, or is just enough to show a very good user interface and that's all?
It's not only interface, clearly, because these people, I mean, in SAP and Bosch, we had a team of 3 people, engineers, working full-time. So it's not really to show a nice picture. They ask questions, if you take this tool, who is going to support it? Just they use Simulink. I don't know whether they use Simulink, very good tool, supported by many years by big companies. So they just drop email and companies just run immediately, corrects everything, or develop special profiles for them. So can we provide the same for them when the deploy finishes? So this sort of even practical questions. Can they trust that this tool will be supported enough and have life after the end of the project? So we showed them a lot of nice pictures, but because so they developed two examples in this system, sort of smaller one and bigger one. So they saw, and they developed by themselves with our help. So they saw all the problems with, for example, decomposition proofs. They knew inside problems. They told us that we don't like this part of your method. Probably this would fit us better. So they were quite demanding people, and they at the end, after all these 4 years, they decided this method, our method, event B, is not good for them because we don't support this type of decomposition, or we don't have this. And we developed a lot during the project, because when they said something at year 1, we need this, we developed this clearly. But still there was this, so they were quite demanding. They wanted probably too much, and I don't know, difficult to say. But it was not just show nice one development. We developed a lot of nice things. It was deeper, sort of deeper problems, where they can put company into this deep into this development process, whether they need to completely take this process into their development culture. So whether they in SAP, so one of the failures was that we wanted to hide proofs completely, and we thought we managed this, and we didn't. So still 4% of the math proofs couldn't be completely hidden. So and afterwards they told us, so we need formally sitting in every team and telling how to prove these theorems. We are not doing this. This is it. So this is top-down development, and we told them that nothing wrong, you all have PhDs in computer science, you can prove theorems. No, we don't do this. So, and quite actually, it's true. Many people with PhDs in computer science in these research centers in SAP and Bosch, I mean, they're good people, not just sort of just after two years of bachelor or 3 years of bachelor. They're great people, very good understanding, but they're really company people. They don't want any papers, any sort of, okay, so a lot of good lessons and not always success stories, clearly. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Sasha, there is a very interesting point you brought out during the talk that may be of interest for all the audience, because not everybody is a software engineer, so few people maybe are lost now. Why academia and industry didn't manage to collaborate very well, apart from the technical issues, is about the system of incentive. Okay, this may be different in different countries. For example, in Italy there is no ref, luckily. But something similar is coming. So do you think that the system of incentive these days in the academia is so, is so distant from the real need of industry? And this maybe can be discussed during the roundtable this afternoon. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. I think it's changing a lot, this system, and I a little bit exaggerated. I mean, academics need papers, but we have this impact stories, so you can put a nice website for your school. Say we're cooperating with Bosch, and we've been 10 years into, I don't know, research with BAE or whatever. It's nice, and students will like this. If you have cooperation with companies, probably you can have some internships for your students. So it's attractive for the student, it's attractive for everybody when universities cooperate. But I mean, at the same time, if you look into, for example, how academics hire, schools hire academics, publications still dominating factor. Probably not the only one, but they say if you have 10 journal papers, you can get lectureship in our school. Nobody says if you have links with Bosch. It's not the first criteria. Still, it's still part. So whatever was on the slide, when universities change the way they work, the first speaker was, I remember this graph, when now universities have different role in the society. So they should innovate and bring actually money via innovation. It's not only teaching students and scholars. So it's very slow process, and I think, it's great if you have links with industry, but it's not the first criteria, unfortunately, yeah. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander. Since the first schedule, at this time there was the coffee break. If you don't mind, we can have a little break for the coffee and then come back for the speech of Gianpaolo Iesi about modeling and improving the performance of supply chain and packaging. Okay.